First, this is the right door, this is the left door, this is the top. I'm going to turn it over, and you'll notice at the top there's a very small pilot hole right there. That's where your magnet plates are going to go. There's a little, and in the magnet pack you've got the magnet plate, and 3 screws. The tiny screw is the one that attaches the magnet plate. This plate has a couple little bumps on it. That's going to go toward the wood because then it'll keep it from turning. So line it up with the pilot hole. Take a small Phillips screwdriver. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the handle on. I think it's easier just to start them with the fingers from the back side. This is the same size as the plate's on. Line up the handle, just so it catches a little bit. And then I do the same thing with the next screw. Get it started. And then I tighten the handle down. Then you take 2 of the H pins and insert them into each end of the door. Step 2, we're going to do a little bit of preparation on the front braces. This is the top front brace. Has 2 blocks nailed to it. That's where your magnets are going to go a little bit later on. Has 2 access holes. That's where your 1 3/4 machine screws will go. And then there's another little hole. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the shortest pin, 3/4 inch pin, into each end. 1 in each end. You have to, you can always tap it in a little bit. If it's loose, that's okay too. This is going to go down. So this is going to be the top of the top front brace. This is the bottom front brace. You'll notice has the same holes on the ends, most of the same holes on the inside, except there's a couple little holes you got to take particular attention to. That's these 2. That's where the door pins are going to go, and so this has going to have to face up when you do your assembly. So to complete this one, put a pin in the end of this one, and a pin in the other end. Okay, now we're going to assemble the spice rack. You got a right side, and you have a left side. They're mirror images of each other. All the holes, if you put them together like that, they'll all be exactly the same. You have 2 shelves. You have a top shelf and a bottom shelf. They're exactly alike. The front edges are tapered, and that's going to go on the front. You have 2 holes in the back. Sometimes you may find both of these shelves have holes. One of the sets aren't going to be used in the bottom shelf, so make sure that you, for the front shelf or the top shelf, always has these little holes, because that's what's going to attach it to the cabinet a little bit later on. Start both of them, that makes it easier to line up, and then just tighten them up. I'm going to attach the bottom shelf first because we're going to have to put the dowels in just a minute. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this over on its back. I'm going to insert the tubes, the metal tubes. And then we're going to attach the left side. 1 1/4 inch number 8 screws into the pilot holes. Make sure that the holes on the top shelf are in the top shelf. These are here, just ignore them. They're not going to serve any purpose at all. And now you have your spice rack. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the sides to the drawer back. You notice the two little holes in the right side. We're going to make sure that those line up with the hole in the back. Then I'm going to take 4 of a 1 1/4 number 8 screws, and I'm going to start them through the back. See, I'm just going to start them right through the back. I'm going to line them up in the pilot holes in the back edge of the drawer side. Sides in place, notches aligned. I'm going to put the other side. Make sure that you have the hole in the post aligned properly. Take a little bit of mineral oil again. 2 pilot holes on the inside. The other holes here are for the handle. Just get that started. If you use a power screwdriver on this, you want to make sure you don't drive the post past the thread. Okay. Now I'm going to take my previous assembly and we're going to put that bastion post. First I'm going to align the slot for the drawer bottom. See that bastion post is going right into the big hole there on both sides. We're going to take that, threads out, and I'm going to insert that into this nut access hole right here. Threads out, the little notches are going parallel with that brace. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to take that little set screw and we give you a little wrench. We're including a little hex wrench that fits the top of the set screw. Sort of like to put it on the end of the wrench. Sometimes makes it a little easier. And start threading it in. Now what's happening is that the tip of the set screw is going to hit that taper in the hole in the post. And you can feel it start tightening up. Here again, I just start them by my fingers. Okay, here's your assembled drawer. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to attach the glides. How we're going to attach the drawer glides. They come in the pack. You open up the pack and you'll see there's 4 separate pieces to the glide. 2 of them go in the drawer, 2 of them go in the cabinet. The ones that go in the drawer, if you look at the end of them, they're sort of like a Z or a backwards Z. And but tell the left and the right, if you look near the wheel here, right in behind the wheel, you see a DL. That is the left glide. There's a similar marking on the right one that says DR. So the way this goes, the wheel's going to go to the back of the drawer, and all of these holes, I'm not going to use any of those, that's going to go under the drawer, and you'll see the pilot holes are lining up here. You see those pilot holes there? Okay. It doesn't matter which one you start with. We're going to attach the glide support stick. If you zoom in here just a little bit, I've circled the pilot holes on the bottom edge, just going toward the bottom. That's where the glides themselves are going to be attached, or one of them will be attached to this side. This happens. The 2 little holes at the top up here, they're for the L brackets, and that's what attaches later on the top to the side panels. And then the 4 larger holes are for attaching this to the side panels. I use 1 1/4 number 8s, 4 of them for this operation. Here again, I start the screws into the holes before tightening them down. Attach the glide. these are everything's exactly the same at this point. So we're going to make this the front. The wheel's going to go toward the front. And if you look at the diagram, you're going to notice that that glide is almost even with the edge of that. And you're going to look down through the little holes there, and you're going to see two of these line up. In this particular one, it's 2 and 8. It's not always that way. It just depends on the shipment of glides we get, but they always will line up, 2 of them, when you get them in this position. Then you want to make sure you get a little packet of screws. It's going to say 5/8 number 7 screw used on cabinet glide side. We also use the same screw for attaching the L brackets. I'm going to attach the L brackets. If you notice the L brackets, one has a hole in the slot and the other has just a slot. We're going to use the one with the hole and use one of those number 7 screws, and we're going to attach it right to the top. And tight and flush. We'll do the other one.